Good morning, New Life Church. I am hoping that everybody is safe at home and doing well, and I hope that for my fellow single people who live alone, you are not going absolutely crazy. Keep in touch with your loved ones, and we'll all get through this together. Today we're going to be in James, chapter 2, verses 1 through 9. My dear brothers and sisters, how can you claim to have faith in our glorious Lord Jesus Christ if you favor some people over others? For example, suppose someone comes into your meeting dressed in fancy clothes and expensive jewelry, and another comes in who is poor and dressed in dirty clothes. If you give special attention and a good seat to the rich person, but you say to the poor one, "You stand over there or else sit on the floor," well, doesn't this discrimination show that your judgments are guided by evil motives? Listen to me, dear brothers and sisters. Hasn't God chosen the poor in this world to be rich in faith? Aren't they the ones who will inherit the kingdom He promised to those who love Him? But you dishonor the poor. Isn't it the rich who oppress you and drag you into court? Aren't they the ones who slander Jesus Christ, whose noble name you bear? Yes, indeed. It is good when you obey the royal law as found in the Scriptures. Love your neighbor as yourself. But if you favor some people over others, you are committing a sin. You are guilty of breaking the law. For the person who keeps all of the laws except one, oh wait, sorry, I went a little farther. I want to focus today on the phrase favor some people over others. Now that phrase comes from one Greek word, prosopolipsia. It is only found in the Bible. It's one of those words they made up to describe a concept that didn't exist within the culture. And literally what it means is to receive face. And the way that they used it is as a noun, and it's a noun that is it's the act of showing preference or judging someone based on their outward appearance or circumstances. James talks about them favoring the rich, they're not saying you're favoring the rich because they're a good person. They're favoring them because they're rich, and they're hoping to gain the benefits of being rich. They are hoping, that they will get something of value out of that relationship. And they're engaging in that relationship for selfish reasons. In other words, they're hoping to get this. They're hoping to get the benefits of having money. And James talks about, the people, these rich people that you're kissing up to, they're the ones that take you to court. They're the ones who persecute you. They're the ones that blaspheme Jesus. They're the ones who talk bad about the family you're supposedly a part of. In other words, you're expecting to get something of value, but what you're really getting, is something superficial that says it has value, but it's actually worthless. And this is true of all relationships, if you think about it. In our culture, it's not as much about rich and poor. It's very often about people's image, personality, We tend to celebrate celebrities, for instance. But the truth is, you can have somebody who doesn't have a great personality, who's not very friendly, and it turns out that they are the kindest, most generous person you've ever met. And you can also have a relationship with somebody who is friendly on the outside, everybody's drawn to them, but the truth is they're scam artists. They are there to take what they can get, and they use their likable personality to do that. On the other hand, you can have somebody who has no power and build a relationship with them because you think it will build social clout, which is fairly common in our culture, to favor people who are seen as not having power. And it may turn out that, they're not the greatest people to hang out with. And you can also have somebody who has a lot of power and they're very humble and, they use their power for good. So it's not a matter of political correctness or just, choosing one group over another. What it's about is taking the time to get to know people. If you just look at the outside or what's immediately obvious about a person and make your judgment from there whether you want to have a relationship with them or not, then you may be missing some things. And getting to know people who maybe they're the annoying person at work, maybe they're the person who's so quiet nobody notices them. And you have to step out of your comfort zone in order to get to know them. If you're a talkative person and super friendly, and you may have to learn to listen a bit more, which very much goes back to chapter 1 of James, listen more and talk less. And if you're a very shy, quiet person, you may have to step out and make the effort to communicate when normally you'd rather just stand back and not take that risk. And while this message is actually quite short, and although we're separated by the coronavirus, that is what I'm going to challenge you to do, is to reach out to somebody who maybe you don't have a significant relationship because either you find them annoying, or they're not the most popular person at work or in your club or whatever it is, wherever you know them from. They may be just quiet. They may be just somebody with a personality that just grates on you. But I want you to pick a person and do what you can to reach out to them. I mean, I know we can't meet with people in person, but a phone call, a card through the mail, an email, a text, and just reach out to that person and make the effort to get to know them. Because when you get to know people, that is when you find out whether it's a relationship worth pursuing, is by actually pursuing the relationship. Um, so that is my challenge to you today, is just make that effort, get to know the people around you, sacrifice some of your time and effort to get to know somebody who maybe is in desperate need of being loved and being in a relationship